In today's video, I am going to be comparing Gala to a whole bunch of other gaming slash metaverse related cryptos, and I'm going to be talking about which one I think is the best. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. And the first crypto I want to compare Gala to is Sand, and when it comes to Sand, it is the native token for Sandbox. And when it comes to Sandbox, in my opinion, it is one of the best metaverses out there, and it's very amazing. It has so many partnerships already. It currently has over 400. I mean, just imagine that. Sandbox, it's partnered up with Atari, Ubisoft, Gucci, and even Tony Hawk. And it doesn't end there. I could go on and on and on. They have so many partnerships. I mean, it's insane. And if we take a look at what is behind Sandbox, it is Animoca Brands. And when it comes to Animoca Brands, they are so huge and they're just a top tier company in my opinion. It's very massive. So I think Sandbox, I think it's in safe hands and I think it has such a bright future ahead. However, despite just how amazing Sandbox is, strictly from just an investment standpoint of view, I just believe that the Gala token has more room to grow than Sand. And let me explain why. When it comes to Gala, it's just a lot more oversold than Sand as of right now. Gala is around 22 times lower than its all-time high price, while on the other hand, Sand, it's only around 13 times lower than its all-time high price. And the market cap for Gala, it's just a lot lower than Sand. You know, Sand has a market cap of around 1.1 billion, while on the other hand, when it comes to Gala, it's only sitting at around 272 million. When it comes to Gala, I just think it has a lot more room to grow than Sand. And also on top of that, the Gala ecosystem is just a lot more diverse than Sandbox. A lot of people, when they often think about Gala, they only think about Gala games. That's all they think about. But in actuality, the Gala ecosystem is a lot more than that. They're also focused on music, they're also focused on film, and they're also focused on building their own metaverse called the Voxverse. You know, when it comes to Sandbox right now, as an ecosystem, it's a lot bigger than Gala, it's a lot more established, but I just think that Gala will have a much better bull run than Sand. And the next crypto I want to talk about is ApeCoin, and when it comes to ApeCoin, they have a lot of fans coming over from Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club as well. And I think that the major driving force behind ApeCoin in the future will be the Other Side metaverse. You know, I think that has the potential to be absolutely massive. I think the Other Side metaverse, I think it looks amazing. I think the graphics look fantastic. It just looks so enticing. There are so many metaverses out there, but most of them, they're just not that good. You know, ApeCoin is currently ranked number 36 in the world, but I think it can be even much bigger than that during the next bull run. I think the Other Side metaverse will truly carry ApeCoin to great heights in the future. And the next crypto I want to talk about is ENJ. And when it comes to ENJ, it is the native cryptocurrency for Enjin. And when it comes to Enjin, it is a NFT issuance platform that is dedicated to the improvement of the gaming ecosystem. Enjin, much like Gala, they're also focused on NFTs, they're also focused on gaming, and they're focused on the metaverse as well with something called Efinity. And also on top of that, Enjin has amazing partnerships. They have partnered up with Microsoft, they've also partnered up with Square Enix. And by the way, for anyone out there who doesn't know who Square Enix is the developer behind the very famous game series called Final Fantasy. You know, that's very popular. And also on top of that, they are a publicly traded company out in Japan. So when it comes to Enjin's partnerships, I mean, it's just so fantastic. And ENJ, its native token, it's very oversold as of right now. It's down over 90% from its all-time high price. It's very undervalued, it's very oversold, and I think that during the next bull run, it's ready to make a massive comeback. A lot of people think that ENJ is done. A lot of people think that it won't recover again, but I think that during the next bull run, it's going to fire back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. So with all that being said, my ranking so far would be Gala number 1, ENJ number 2, ApeCoin number 3, and Sand number 4. And the next thing I want to talk about is Axie Infinity. And now when it comes to Axie Infinity, a lot of people may think, oh, isn't that game done? You know, isn't that game dead, essentially speaking? But that is not true whatsoever. As of right now, Axie Infinity actually has around 500,000 active monthly players. So contrary to popular belief, you know, the game's not done whatsoever. It still has a lot of active players. And I think it's so amazing seeing Axie Infinity upgrade to Axie Infinity Origin. You know, with the Origin upgrade, you know, the tokenomics are a lot better, which I think is just so amazing. And yes, it is true. When it comes to Sky Mavis, the developers behind Axie Infinity, they are planning to diversify their ecosystem in the future. They're planning to release more games other than just Axie Infinity and potentially give more use case to the AXS token. But even despite all that, I still like Gala a lot more. I think it's it's a lot more solid. I think so far for me, as of right now, Gala is still number 1, number 2 is still ENJ, number 3 is still ApeCoin, number 4 is still Sand, and I would put AXS at number 5. Now the next thing on the list is Decentraland, and when it comes to Decentraland, I think the metaverse is all right, but I don't think it's that good, to be honest. I think Sandbox is a lot better than Decentraland. And when I played Sandbox and when I played Decentraland, I've overall just had a generally better experience playing Sandbox. I think Sandbox, when it comes to the mechanics, it's a lot more smooth. I think it's a lot more intuitive, and I think it's just a lot more fun to play than Decentraland. Now, am I saying that Decentraland is bad? No, I am not. I just think that Decentraland is not that great as a metaverse, but I do think that Mana does have good potential. And now when it comes to Mana, it is the utility token for Decentraland. It's down over 10 times from its all-time high price. It's still very undervalued as of right now. I think Mana can provide good gains, but I do think that cryptos like Gala, like Sand, like ApeCoin, and ENJ are just better overall, and I think they can just provide more potential gains in the future. And now with all that being said, I am going to be going through my overall picks. Number 1 is Gala, number 2 is ENJ, number 3 is ApeCoin, number 4 is Sand, number 5 is Mana, and number 6 is AXS. I think overall these cryptos, they have a lot of potential, but I think some are just better than others. If I could only choose 3 cryptos to buy out of this list, I would buy Gala, I would buy ENJ, and I would buy ApeCoin. And quick disclaimer, anything I said in this video is not financial advice. This is not an invitation to buy, sell, or trade cryptos. This is not that whatsoever. And if you want to check out a very interesting video, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very wonderful video.